Good morning, world, and good morning, future Tim. Happy Father's Day. It is 6:30 in the morning, and I just spotted the green parrot as I was feeding the dog. It flew off when the food hit the bowl, but I wonder if it's going to pop back. It was beautiful. Anyway, I shall feed the bird. Tim is still asleep. Charlie is still asleep. This is how you know yesterday was an extremely long day. Charlie has not slept through the night since he was probably around 3 months old. He went to bed at 10:30, which is late for him, and he's not woken up since. So he slept 8 hours so far, and I think we both needed it. Good morning, birdies. Beautiful day. It's a pretty bloody beautiful day. Is Luna there? Yes, she is. Oh, she got the zoomies. Still no green parrot. Oh, there it is. Oh, I didn't even get it on camera because I'm just staring at it. Hold on. There we go. I keep seeing them out the kitchen window, and every time I go to get my shoes, they're gone. I'm gonna get you some food. Hold on, I'll be right back. They're both there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're on the arbor. No, don't do that. What are you doing, you stupid camera? Don't go anywhere. Come on. I'll put some food out for you. There's one. This camera's so annoying. That one's just flying into a tree. Why is the camera doing this? Am I crooked? No, I'm not crooked. Has Charlie broken you? I'm going to put this here. Sorry. Yellow's coming back. She's coming back. Doesn't know where to land. Oh, goodness cow. No, there's a turkey who's getting close. Hey, I'm not giving this to you. Yeah, no. This guy's actually really close to me. Oh, happy Sunday. This is green one. That's right, come on. She doesn't want to come down. Last time she was the really confident one. Also, Tim, I think your gimbal's messed up because this is it sitting flat on the ground. Come on over, little thing. Come say hello to your boyfriend. I've got food. Lots of food. is so cool. Another little green parrot, and they're flying off into the trees. Just went up into the trees. Tim, what's up with your gimbal? Anyway, I was cleaning the kitchen when I saw the birds, so I should probably get back to that because Tim will be awake soon. And we're going to do a special Father's Day breakfast. Yay! Good morning. Rah. What's going on? It is 9:20, and Daddy's still in sleep, isn't he? We love Daddy, he's still asleep. Happy Father's Day, Timmy!
I was eating toast. Hannah just turned on the camera and put it down. I think she wants me to vlog. Check out my brekkie. I'm having... Alright, I said I was going to be good. I fasted. It balances it out. Look at my breakfast for Father's Day. I got 2 eggs, some homemade baked beans, some bacon, some salmon. I put butter on toast and some chicken and a coffee. And we're watching church and I'm watching my family and life is good. And I got a RuneScape map here. Life is good. And my present. Check out what Hannah got me. Oops. Sorry. Check out what Hannah made me. So I play RuneScape. Old school, of course. And she got me this. This is, we were talking, that's why the map's open, we were talking about it. So congratulations. You completed, hang on, I'm going to make sure I can read it properly. Congratulations, you completed the fatherhood quest. You are awarded 4 quest points, 1 best friend, and unlimited sloppy kisses. Aww. Yes. He's a funny little boy. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Charlie. Is there something you might be... No, this just might be it. Colours. Oh, gee. Drink some water real quick. Hydration. Well, today... What? You coming? Luna, you coming? Hey, sweet. They're very excited, and I am very excited too, actually, because I'll let them out. I'll be out in a minute, girls. What we're going to do first is we're going to grab a card from the What's Your Story card game. I'm very much looking forward to it. All right. The time you fixed something. I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Thank you, Caitlin. I do like this little card-driven storytelling. It's good. It's good to get a nice prompt. So a time when I fixed something. First, before I go into that, I just wanted to point out something. Today is Sunday. It's the Sabbath, right? Normally, I'd be freaking out about, oh, I need to get this done, I need to get that done, There's not much that I need to do. Which... Shake. Shake. Good girl. Which is a nice change. Normally I would have a million things that I had lined up to do at some point. And because it's Sunday, I'd be arguing with myself, I shouldn't be doing it, I need to rest. And then I'd do it, or start doing it, or start freaking out about it. You know? Those are the options that I normally would give myself, which are not productive, realistically. Like even the not doing anything but freaking out about it, that's draining. So today, there's not much to do, and I'm not going to force myself to do anything. Except walk. I woke up this morning in quite a bit of pain. I had a swollen ankle last night. My right hip joint, whatever, at the top of my leg was very, very sore. Zia woke up to go to the toilet in the middle of the night and both my ankles, both my knees, both my hips were just aching. So I've decided I'm going to calm down the running. because, you know, 140 or whatever it is, 130 odd kilos of pressure on my knees and, you know, ankles and joints, because I suddenly decided that, all right, now's finally the time. Just going straight into it, probably not a good idea. What I'm going to focus on instead, just so I don't injure myself, because I'm still committed to that goal, right? Of losing 10 kilos in just over a month. What I'm going to focus on instead is just consistency around making sure I get those 10k steps a day. So, oh, look at this. We got new beautiful leaves on this mulberry. Look at that. All these new growths just from the little bit of water. Hey, that is a mulberry. That's an actual mulberry. So is this one in here? I really hope the camera's focusing, but we got actual berries. But I'm gonna probably, do I clip them? Maybe I should, I'm not sure. Needs water, I'm gonna get some water for it. So really, what I wanted to say is, it's Sunday. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, there's nothing that I must do today. And I feel like it's healthy that I focus on taking some degree of rest. At least, you know, on my legs, which are very, very sore. I'm still going to walk. And I'm going to try and rest. Properly rest. I might read a book. You know, I was talking the other day to... Actually, it was either during the vlog with Caitlin or it was just off the side. Oops. In conversation with Caitlin. Just talk about it. You know, I've read, was it 52 books a year or something for 10 years straight? I was like, you know, I've probably read half that in 10 years total. Not 52 a year. I've probably read, you know, 26 across 10 years. And I feel like part of the reason why that is I don't give myself time for leisure, really. And when I do, it's like, you know how if you're, oh, it's filling up, oh, no. I feel like in the past, whenever I had given myself leisure, it was like fast food leisure. You know, I'd sit down and give myself half an hour. Okay, what am I going to do? Oh, I don't know, but I'm going to freak out about it until I just spend half an hour on TikTok. You know, real healthy stuff like that. So, today we'll begin me giving myself some actual leisure. Oh, a chainsaw. Somebody's chainsawing next door. Okay, hang on. That's something I do need to do, actually. I'm just going to set you there. That's something I do need to do is cut some timber. I've got some timber in the back of the ute just over there that I need to cut and make sure is good for firewood. So, I'm 9 minutes in. I haven't even started what I was going to talk about. That's crazy. But that's my point. Today is going to be slower. Today's going to be leisure day. It's going to be rest day. It's going to be Sabbath day. I'm going to do some reading, some sitting around. I might sit in the the hammock was there. Oh, we had a really windy day. I took the hammock, the actual hammock part off, but I know where it is, so I'll go and get it. I might do a little bit of tidying, but ultimately I'm going to do nothing that is intense, I suppose. Like, I'm not going to do any work, big work. I'm not going to do any side hustle stuff, no invoicing. I'm going to have a nice day. Today's also Father's Day. So, it's my first Father's Day. Quick message to any fathers out there, actually. This is something I did want to talk about. So, being Father's Day, I wanted to quickly leave a message to any fathers out there that happen to be listening to this. I have learned a lot. You know, I've been a father for 6 months, so I'm by no means a master of it, right? But one of the lessons that I've learned is just how critical it is, how important the role of a father is in a kid's life. I was reading some statistics just before Charlie was born, because I was, you know, brushing up on, okay, what does a father actually do? What's the point? What's the real value? And I was learning that juvenile delinquents, the statistics for juvenile delinquents, in other words, kids who end up in prison or juvenile detention or trouble as a kid, is significantly higher when there's no father present at home. So and this is not obviously diminishing the work that single mothers do and diminishing what single mothers go through by any means, not at all. It's an insane job, my goodness, but it shouldn't be the case. And I feel my heart breaks for kids who go through that and mothers who go through that. You know, mothers who have to both work, earn the money, and look after the kid and everything else. Like, I watch what Hannah does, and it's a lot. I look at what I do in terms of earning the money, and it's a lot. To have to do both, yeah, mad kudos to single moms and single fathers, of course. But primarily I'm here to talk about the importance of fatherhood, right? Don't for a second feel like, as a father, what you're doing is not important. I have moments where, this is what I said to Hannah, you know, like in terms of like financial earning capacity and bringing into the household, my earning capacity's always been greater than Hannah's, but which is okay. Like that's where my focus has been. But I told her, like, since the moment I watched you give birth, or the moments, it was not giving birth was not a moment. It was quite a few moments strung together. But I said, since I watched that, it's completely shifted. You know, I told her value was, you know, she didn't have to feel like she had to financially contribute to our household. You know, like, it was a big shift because she's always had that sense of responsibility. Like, no, I've got to pay my way and all this, and which I admire. It's a good sense of responsibility. But I said, where we're headed, like, please don't feel like you need to both be a mother and bring in money into the household. Like, financially, we're okay. I'm perfectly happy working extra hours and extra roles and extra jobs and all this sort of thing to make sure that you can have your full attention and your full responsibility on motherhood. But one thing that shifted for me in a way that I didn't think it would was since watching Hannah give birth, I don't feel like we equally contribute to the household. Now, before you crucify me, what I mean by that is I don't feel like I can do enough. Like, what Hannah does on a daily basis, I look at as having an ROI that is 1 billion times more than anything that I could ever do. You know, I work a lot and I work hard, and my income is good. But what Hannah does for this house, I can't match. You know, the value that she adds to my life in supporting me, and the value that she adds to Charlie's life by raising him and teaching him the right things to do, I can't compete with that. You know, leading up when Hannah was sort of she'd stopped working, and the intent was to not have her go back to work. I was trying to say, no, we are equal. We do, you know, I bring in the money, you manage the house and the family. We're equal. But I'm realizing we're not equal. What she does is so much more valuable than what I do. It's humbling. It really is. So, where was I going with that? I was here trying to give I'm speaking for 15 minutes. I'm going to hate editing this. Oh my goodness. Anyway, my point is, you know, family is important. Fatherhood's important. Motherhood is equally important. But as a father, don't ever question your value that you're bringing to your family. It might be different. I certainly, like I said, from time to time I do question it, but fathers, good job. Mothers, good job. Everybody, good job. Yeah. Anyway, so the time that I fixed something, it started during high school, and it continued until I moved interstate. So I moved interstate about 5 years after school, roughly. And from, you know, midway through high school to right before I moved, I was fixing phones. You know, I think it was 2011 I started doing it. So I was fixing iPhones, specifically iPhones, because you could get parts really, really cheap because they were like the most common phone. And I think that really was my first big solo venture, I suppose. And it wasn't even that big. Like, it was the first thing that I felt fully responsible for, that I could do on my own time. I was responsible for every aspect of it. I could set my own, you know, hours. I had to manage my own books. I had to manage everything myself, and I learned a lot. I learned some very, very serious lessons, and it's some of the lessons I've learnt retrospectively. Like, I went through some things during that period that I look back and think, gee, why did I do it that way? For example, there was this one family that I got a call for. What I used to do was go out. I'd say, okay, you let me know where you are. I'll come out to you, and this is the fee. Like, I was basically, because I didn't, back then fuel was a lot cheaper, and I didn't value my time anywhere near what I value it now. I was able to sort of do mobile phone repairs for the same price or less than what you could get in shops. You go to those kiosks in the middle of the shopping centers and they got the cheap phone repairs. I was able to do them for slightly cheaper than that at people's homes. So I had a big advantage, in terms of what I could offer. But just because you're offering something that's incredible doesn't mean people will always appreciate you. So I had this one family who said, yeah, we've got, all these cracked phones. This one's cracked, this one's battery, this one, whatever. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. So I'll do your discount too, bulk discount, because I'm only traveling out once. But they did not respect me back the same way, this particular family. When I got there, this was like a really gross, grotty home. You know the kind of house, right? Rubbish everywhere. There were young kids. I felt bad for the kids. Young kids. When I pulled up, walked through the door, tripping over rubbish, I was like, oh, okay, where do you want me to work? And they're like, oh, hang on, I'll clear a space. And they like brush this mass rubbish off the couch and then brush these dirty nappies off the coffee table and said, go there. I was like, you serious? Like, I need proper space to be doing this. But I didn't say anything because I hadn't learned my lesson yet. I was like, oh, okay, cool, thank you, appreciate it. And I knew that I didn't have the space. I had their 2-year-old as well, like trying to fiddle with stuff, grab screws from the phone. It was very, making me anxious I was going to lose something because of their kid. And they just watched it, let it happen, I hadn't learned to ask, hey, can you just like not let your kid play with these components because your phone might break and it will be on you. Which actually eventually did happen. Because I did a few of their phones, I went back a few times. And at one point, I didn't have much room. And the kid grabbed the Touch ID. This was Touch ID, an iPhone 5S, I think it was, or 6 or something. And pulled it, and it broke the cable. And I was just there to fix the phone screen, And, I put it back together. I was like, oh, gee, how am I going to deal with this? And because I had no real self-boundary or self-respect, I was like, oh, no, it doesn't, I'm not sure what's going on. I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll just do the screen for free. This was not a cheap part either. This was like when they were a newer phone. So I lost a lot of money, I lost a lot of dignity, and it took me years to figure out the lesson from that. And the key lesson would be that, it's important to draw lines where you need to respect yourself. If other people aren't going to, looking back, how would I have handled that? I would have said, hey, I need a proper workspace because I'm working with your phone. I respect your property. I'm here to fix your property. But I need a clear working space. I need it to be uninterrupted. I'd rather it didn't have dirty nappies on it, and I'd rather it be at a height where I can actually work. Have you got something like that? And then if something was damaged because their kids were, fiddling and playing with stuff that I told them not to, then I'd say, hey, sorry guys, this is what's happened. Also, it's an unfixable part because of Apple. You can take it to Apple, but they won't fix it because of the screen, as you knew, because I made them sign a waiver. So you still owe me for the repair, and also, next time, hopefully we've learned, keep the kids away from the workspace. But it took me a lot longer than just that. That was, in all honesty, that was why I packed that up when I moved to Melbourne. Because I was struggling. I was making, my margin was nothing. And the risk was higher. So that was a much more expensive part because this phone had only just come out. And I had to give it for free, plus my labor, plus my travel time, plus working among dirty nappies. And many years later I learnt that lesson that, you need to set boundaries and you need to respect yourself, especially if other people don't. So that was my lesson from a time that I fixed things. I do miss it. I loved fixing things. Loved the phone repair business, but unfortunately, you know, I don't have the time anymore. I gave my equipment away to a mate. My fingers are fat and my eyes are getting bad now, and I don't have the time, nor would it be a really profitable venture, to be honest. But these are the lessons I learned, and I wouldn't have learned these lessons if I didn't go through them. So another example of where, you know, in life where we fail, because I would probably consider that a failure. That particular example that I gave you, you know, working among dirty nappies, and I didn't stand up for myself, I'd consider that a failure. But because I learned a lesson, it wasn't a wasted failure. So, fail fast and fail forward. Continue to try. Just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean you should stop. So learn. As long as we learn from our mistakes and recognize them and are willing to change, approach and grow, then failing is a good thing. So fail fast, fail often, and fail forward. Keep failing until you learn enough to stop failing. Yeah. Happy Sunday. My knee's starting to get really sore, so I'm probably going to go inside in a little bit. But I did just want to enjoy some sun, and now I'm going to go read. I may not film much more today, just to help limit the editing, because now we're at 25 minutes on this clip. My goodness. So if I don't see you later today, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you again. I appreciate everybody who watches. Yeah, there's not many, but I think Hannah would prefer it that way. That there's not too many people that watch, but for the people that do, I hope you're enjoying watching our lives, because we're enjoying living it. And I'm enjoying the challenge of having to do these every day, you know, because I committed to it. And I'm enjoying the creativity. I'm enjoying being able to look back at footage. You know, there's things where we can look back and laugh and go, remember when Charlie was laughing at himself on the video and all this? So, yeah. Happy Father's Day to fathers. And to those who have a father, remember to cherish and love and appreciate your father. And I will talk to you either later today or tomorrow. Goodbye.
What?